Okay, so we're gonna try this one here, and much like all the other ones, I did a quick test for these bone conduction ones. I guess I wonder if they will bone conduct the vibrations of my voice into them from my bones into them rather than just putting. I don't know if it works in reverse. If the vibrations in my head are going to make it work. I don't know. It could be. It seems like the microphone is like a dot on the outside of one of these like flaps, so I don't know. I don't even know if I truly believe this is bone conduction, or if it is, if it's very good. But the thingies certainly vibrate anyways. Uh, all that aside, um, let's uh, let's do the thing. We're talking about music. Um, and I guess to me also, like this is a thing that I've just kind of like gone over. I guess it makes sense listening to music for a bunch of these. That I would want to talk about that. I think it sounds fitting. So basically, with music, I guess the thing I kind of want to talk about here more so is the idea that um, I have this really weird thing with music where I feel like it's very, it feels very personal. I think is the way I want to put it. And I think that stems back to I tied a lot of like a lot of kids I think do, um, especially when I hit my teens, was like music was a big part of am I cool? You know, I didn't usually care a lot about that sort type of thing, but for some reason, music was very much like what I'm listening to. I feel like I have to I have a weird responsibility towards it or something, right? Like, which is weird because even just with the radio, it's not like what I'm listening to on the radio necessarily. It's like when I didn't tell them to put it on. It's just what happened to be on. I'm on that station. I don't have to co-sign that, but it feels like I do. That's very kind of like the internet now, where it's like if you ever talk to somebody online, you now are co-signing everything they say because you're friendly. It's kind of like that. But you're listening to a thing. So if you're not saying that you don't like it, running away from it, then you must like it and totally endorse it. I don't know. That's weird. Um, and I think what's probably more weird though is the idea that that kind of it kind of stuck. Not necessarily that feeling of I have to own all this stuff that I'm listening to. A little bit I feel like it still, but I don't know. I always feel weird I don't often share what I'm listening to, or what I have listened to. I sometimes might, but not very often. I'll when we play games, I'll mention those all day, every day. But when I'm music, I'm I don't know if I want to tell people that I am listening to this. I don't know if I want to yet, because I haven't decided how much I haven't decided how I feel about it enough yet to tell people. I don't have enough of an opinion to be yo, this is what I was listening to. It just seems really weird. Um, but I don't know. It's it's a thing. I guess people do it. It's not like it's just me for some of that, feeling self-conscious about it, feeling very personal, but also similarly with that, I guess what sort of goes along with it and goes into it too is that this idea that for I do talk to some people quite a bit, and even with them, I'm not what are your favorite songs and bands, and artists and whatever. I don't have those conversations, and it seems weird for someone who makes music themselves to not be bringing this up very often. I'm not constantly being I'm inspired by listening to this artist, this artist, this artist, right? I very rarely am saying that stuff. So it probably seems weird. So people will be like, "Do you even listen to music?" I'm like, "I do." Um, I might not be able to write it or read it or even make it very well, but I do listen to it. Um, and part of what I'm trying to do to kind of break out of this too, um, because also it kind of even extends into I definitely have a big thing of I'm listening to stuff. I prefer listening to rather than having the music blaring out so other people can hear it, I'd like to have headphones on. I like to be, listen to my Walkman, put my CD in there, put my headphones on, and there I'm listening to it. It's mine. It's just for me. That kind of thing. I'll do that. Um, and I don't know. I'm trying to kind of break away from it a bit. Um, like even someone shows me a song, I feel really weird, or like, especially someone like sings in front of me or something, I feel like weird. Just because I feel like I have to like, I feel like they want me to have an opinion on this thing, and I'm like, I don't know. I need some time to like have personal time to reflect on this before I say anything about it, because I'm still like super like weirdly tying it to like what I say is going to be like a permanent reflection of who I am as a person, and it's not true. But that's like what is like I think kind of instinctively like ingrained in me. And it's really weird. It's very hard to break. And I think one small step I've been trying to do that I want to do here is with listening to stuff on YouTube Music. So I'm starting with stuff that I kind of know, and I've branched out a bit to be like, I'm gonna listen to every album by this artist or this artist to get more stuff under my belt too, and listen to some stuff that's like, well, I know the artist, I know I like some of the stuff. What about this other stuff that I haven't really heard before? Kind of gets me a little out of my comfort zone area, but also the goal then is that I want to start like at some point eventually I want to kind of go in and like listen to just listen to a song at some point. Now that I've had time to like mine more of my data of stuff I'm listening to, at some point I should just go in and like select a song and listen to that and just let autoplay go and see where it takes me. And I haven't done that yet. I've picked a song and then looked ahead at what was gonna play next and then selected from that list. But like I haven't just let it go yet. So that's kind of the next step. Um, and I think I need to like, and it's not that it's bad that like all music is like personal or whatever. It's not like it's bad necessarily, right? Because like there's plenty of times where like there's stuff that is like, especially if like you're making it or something that's like really important or whatever. Like I can see that. You're like, oh yeah, it's personal in that sense. You want to like, keep it that way. I don't think anybody's like arguing with that. Um, but like to the point where I'm just like hiding it from everybody that I listen to stuff feels like probably bad. Feels like I should not be that introverted with my music, um, and how I interact with it. So, um, yeah, I think that's like the main thrust of what I was going to talk about. But also, I'm going to do some whispers because it looks like they're going to do some audio on there, so you maybe will be able to hear some whispers on here too. We'll see how well this actually comes through. But basically, yes, I'm trying to kind of expand myself a bit more and be more open, so they can be like, yes, I like this stuff, but hey, like this is how I feel about the thing I just heard. My first impressions. I don't have to be married to every opinion that I have. I don't have to co-sign everything I happen to be listening to. And like that's okay. To be like more like okay with the idea that I can still listen to music and enjoy it and like or not enjoy it. Be critical of it and I can listen to music and not have to define who I am just because I happen to be listening to it or have listened to it or whatever, right? Like I am not defined by the music I listen to. And the music I listen to does not dictate who I am. And I have to be like confident enough to not just like keep telling myself that, but to also like actually believe it and act accordingly to that. But yeah, I'm also hearing a weird noise outside. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a train. That's how it is. It's a train coming. Hopefully it doesn't pick up and I'm like, but I don't know. So, anyways, I think that'll do it for this big old random music stuff. So if you want to share how you feel about music, your relationship with it, and any tips you have for me to kind of break out of my like music is too personal for me to like talk about it with anyone kind of like mentality. If you have tips for me, definitely let me know in the comments. That would be good to know. As if you can even hear underneath this, because I am definitely whispering at this point. But I think that'll do it. So hopefully that this all came out okay, or at least it was relaxing or something. Got your ASMR going into something. And yeah, great.